If you're celebrating a special occasion or just love fine dining, you're in the right place. Come experience the crown jewel of South Point restaurants, Michael's Gourmet Room.
Welcome.
With over 600 different types of wines and magnificent dishes prepared tableside, you'll revel in the rich classic Vegas decor and the best black tie service in the world. This intimate gourmet room has earned accolades galore. Come to Michael's Gourmet Room for an unforgettable dining experience. Another famous restaurant is the Silverado Steakhouse, where you'll find the charm and service that discerning patrons require. From top quality steaks and chops to fresh seafood and desserts, you'll love the award-winning wine list and menu at Silverado Steakhouse. Steak lovers have even more options with primarily prime rib. Catering to hearty appetites, the menu features a variety of flavorful prime rib cuts, dry-aged to ensure tenderness, and then seasoned and slowly roasted. Although prime rib is our specialty, it's not the only thing on the menu. There's something for everyone.
Heading to Las Vegas to catch the action at Allegiant Stadium? Skip the traffic and the sky-high room rates of the Strip. Book your stay at the South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa. The South Point is located just 7 miles away from the stadium, and it's a quick trip up the freeway, making it an affordable rideshare or taxi ride. And don't worry about getting here when you land in Vegas. We offer a convenient airport shuttle to get your getaway off to a stress-free start. Shuttles are also available on Raider game days for a small fee. So whether you're rooting for your team or seeing your favorite band in concert at Allegiant Stadium, South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa is your ticket to all the excitement.
Ready to ramp up your excitement for playoff football? Join our hosts as they break down the matchups, key angles, and futures markets in the final episodes of Football Frenzy.
Seattle Seahawks get it done.
You look at these two teams and you say, wow, they did really well against quality opponents.
Brock Purdy to throw an interception, tied up with the Seahawks in this game. I think that's a little bit of a correlation.
I would have given a huge ups to the Rams defensively. Not anymore.
Don't miss your chance to cash tickets and root for your favorite team. Stream Football Frenzy every Friday at noon Pacific.
A lot to get to on this Thursday, January 29th. Welcome in, everybody. Just a week and a half till the big game, Patriots versus the Seahawks. Looking forward to breaking that one down as we get closer and closer. You are watching Sports by the Book, brought to you by South Point Hotel and Casino. If you are in Las Vegas, a local, or coming to Las Vegas for the big game, remember, this is a great spot to come watch the big game with big game parties. Plenty of spots that you can pick to go check out the game. Free parking, great deals on drinks and food, and you got to get here early, but there are plenty of seats and self-betting kiosks available everywhere. So that is one of the biggest perks, of course, if you are going to be betting the big game. We'll be talking props from now until next Friday, and of course, the matchup, the spread, and the total. I'm Alex Way alongside Ryan McCormick. And joining us today, as he always is on Thursdays, Dwayne Colucci, sportsbook manager from the resort at Summerlin, will be with us very shortly. We've also got 15 games on the ice. I cannot wait to break those down and find some best bets in that one. Ryan, welcome in. Let's do a quick little recap of last night. Didn't go great for me. I had one winner. Houston got there, but other than that, not great. How did you do? And then will you recap us with ATS and totals?
Well, I had a solo play yesterday, and it was kind of hammering down one of your plays, and it did not go well. The Avalanche did not cover the puck line. They did not win. They lost by the reverse puck line to the Ottawa Senators. So if you took that one, good on you, but not good on us because we did not take the winning team there. But We'll go with the NHL yesterday, as there were just 3 games. Remember, this recap is brought to you by the South Point Sportsbook. These odds or numbers are based off the closing number here at the South Point Hotel and Casino and what they've got upstairs in our sportsbook. So NHL favorites yesterday, 2-1 straight up. 3 puck lines were covered. All 3 games had a puck line covered, and we managed to pick the one where the reverse puck line was covered there by the Senators. Totals were 3-0 to the over. All home teams each scored 5 goals, contributing to the home teams winning. If you like to play the away versus home, home teams won 15-7, and the Grand Salami goes over that 19.5 with 22 total goals in the 3 NHL games yesterday. Now going to the hardwood. We'll go to the NBA first, in which 9 games were played yesterday. Favorites 4-5 straight up, 4-5 against the spread, and totals were 2-7. So not a good night to play favorites there in the hardwood, and not a good night to play overs there in the NBA. And men's college basketball, it was a good night to play favorites on the money line, not so much on the spread. 35-17 straight up, 24-27-1 against the spread, and totals in that one again lean to the under. 25-27 were those totals, 25 overs, 27 unders. So there is your sports recap of yesterday's games, brought to you by the South Point Sportsbook.
Very interesting that you said the Grand Salami went over with 22 goals, set at 19.5 or around there. Is that what it was here at the South Point?
Yep.
That, for 3 home teams to each score 5 goals, and it only goes over by that much?
Yeah, 2.5.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. That might be a tease for one of my plays later on with 15 hockey games on the board. But I want to talk through that with you, and maybe we'll even ask DC when we get him in here too. But that's where I'm leaning right now, with a 95.5 here for the Grand Salami at the South Point. But let's take a quick break. I just want to double check, make sure that we have Dwayne on the other side. He's joining us from the resort at Summerlin. Can't wait to talk the big game with Dwayne Colucci here on Sports by the Book.
South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you've still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
Ready to ramp up your excitement for playoff football? Join our hosts as they break down the matchups, key angles, and futures markets in the final episodes of Football Frenzy.
Seattle Seahawks get it done.
You look at these 2 teams and you say, wow, they did really well against quality opponents.
Brock Purdy to throw an interception, tied up with the Seahawks in this game. I think that's a little bit of a correlation.
I would have given a huge ups to the Rams defensively. Not anymore.
Don't miss your chance to cash tickets and root for your favorite team. Stream Football Frenzy every Friday at noon Pacific.
We're back. We're ready to go here with our guest, Alex White, Ryan McCormick, and now joined by Dwayne Colucci, Sportsbook Manager up there at the resort at Summerlin. Pucks, ponies, and we'll talk the big game here with Dwayne. DC, I want to start here. What was your initial thought when you saw the matchup here between the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots?
I mean, from a handle perspective, it's another matchup that we've seen. Now, it's been a few years back. You have to go back to the Pete Carroll, Bill Belichick days. But, 2 familiar teams. The handle should be exceptional for the game because they both had exceptional seasons. A lot of people were looking for the Rams, though, to possibly bolster handle. And, I kind of felt the Patriots would be there. We discussed that last week, so that wasn't a shock. And definitely without Bo Nix on the roster for Denver, it definitely is a better matchup, in my opinion, if the Patriots with a fully healthy squad are there, as opposed to always having that fallback of, well, your starting quarterback isn't there. How good could it be? Even if Stidham went off last week, which it was nearly impossible in that weather, and in that stadium and conditions, it definitely would have had always that allure of possibly, if there's a blowout in Seattle or the Rams blew out Denver, you had that possibility of people saying, well, our starting quarterback wasn't there and all that. So, it should be a great handle. It always is. It's definitely our foremost product, other than the first two days of March Madness, but not shocking at all, Alex. We discussed this last week on Sports by the Book. The only thing that was a little shocking to me was that the Patriots didn't win by a little more, but that whole second half, when you got that blowing snow and the wind in your face, it's kind of hard to even punt the ball, and we saw that on several occasions. But the Patriot defense is unbelievable. They kept them right in the game, even though they were facing a backup quarterback, and they contained Denver with great field position on several second half opportunities. And, Seattle got the job done. I mean, Najigba is unbelievable. I'll tell you, he just was an amazing factor, and Kenneth Walker, unbelievable running the ball. And they just had a great scheme that the Rams weren't able to overcome. And Puka Nacua had a great game. Cooper Kupp, like we said, he had a monster game and definitely had a chip on his shoulder to beat his old mates. And that was the more exciting, in my opinion, of the two games. But, you always love that frolic in the snow and that ice atmosphere. So they were two really good championship games, in my opinion. And we'll see how the Super Bowl plays out.
Yeah, that NFC Championship game was, it definitely delivered there. Third time those two teams had seen each other this year. Well, Dwayne, in your opinion, Chris opened 5 here and at your shop, and you guys moved down to 4.5. Now we're seeing 5s again. Where do you think this number gets to, and then ultimately closes at?
I'll be honest with you, Alex. I mean, I think a lot of people are going to be enamored with the Seahawks. And they're just going to pin it on Drake May that he hasn't played as well as he has in the regular season. But there were some different conditions here. Now, you saw I tweeted out, I thought the game would be much closer to 3, in my opinion. I feel that, a lower number, 5 is the dead number. We always talk about that. And if you're just going to sit on 5, that's a very, very dead number. I like to take the dog in that instance. If you force me to make a decision, I'm looking at the ticket count. I mean, the ticket count is nearly getting to 3-1 now on Seattle, but it's early. I mean, we haven't seen any really big wagers yet at the resort at Summerlin or at the South Point. We're eagerly anticipating. Plus, we have all those props that Chris and the team are formulating. And, that should be complete by Saturday or Sunday of this week, where we should provide about 17, 18 pages of propositions for the public to digest. So I think it's going to go probably stay here in the 5.5 range, because Seattle looked so much flashier. Sam Darnold was getting the ball down the field. Walker was running the ball, whereas you didn't see much from Drake May. And that 72% completion rate during the regular season has somewhat disappeared. So, I think that Patriot defense is definitely better than the Rams. So keep that in mind. So I might take the points here, but I want to see how it plays out. But I think, it can only get to 5.5. Maybe, 6 is a key number, Alex. So it's going to be difficult to get there.
Well, DC, you mentioned the prop packet. We do have the first 2 pages already out here at the South Point and up at the resort up in Summerlin. We do also have first touchdown score of the game, last touchdown score of the game, and then first touchdown by both teams. And it looks like we've got some tremendous value betting on the Super Bowl MVP at either one of these shops, because if you kind of go down the board and you're able to spot the non-favorite, you're kind of getting triple digits, where in those national books, you're not getting that value at all. So if you're able to kind of spot the defensive player maybe to make the play and get it done, there's more than double better the price here at these shops than in the national books.
And always get down early, when you're looking at the player propositions, because these guys only go down, as we get handle on each player. And, it definitely is important if you could sniff that out early. Also, always keep your eye out on what's being said during these press conferences. Also, the injury reports, keep your eye, because guys do go down in practice. And, you don't want to have a player that isn't suiting up on Super Sunday for, big money if he's not even going to play.
Dwayne, I want to ask you about the total, and I don't want to put you on the spot, just maybe a lean here. Open 46, it is going down 45.5. You brought up the fact that the Patriots defense better than the Rams defense, especially later on in the season. Are you leading to an under here? I really have no feel on this total here in the big game.
Yeah, I think this is a perfect number, Alex. It's hard to get a feel. I mean, if you think the Patriots are going to control from the defensive aspect, there could still be turnovers and possible pick sixes and things like that. So it's never a shoe-in to just rely on a super-powered defense. We've seen some of these great defensive teams like the Ravens and so forth put up massive numbers on the offensive side as well and create defensive turnovers that turn into 6 points. So it's difficult to get a read on right now. I want to formulate a little more. I think we have the number precise there. Chris and the boys did a fabulous job. And I think this is a tough, handicapable over-under on this particular Super Bowl.
I had talked about the big parties here at the South Point. What are you expecting over there in Summerlin for those locals that want to find a spot? And we know that you take care of everybody at the resort at Summerlin.
Yeah, we're going to have a crazy party. We have the Grand Ballroom. We got the Valencia Ballroom. It's always a casino-wide party at the resort at Summerlin. Plus, we have all these new food amenities. So it's going to be exciting. I think we're going to just have a crazy crowd. And, we're looking forward to it. And then I have the very next day to transition from South Point over to Caesar Sports. So it's going to be ridiculous 2 weeks for me. I'm already exhausted and it didn't even start. So, it's going to be a great party here at the resort at Summerlin. Come on down and enjoy it. We'll have the video all fired up. We got all drop-down screens throughout the casino, big video projectors in the ballroom as well as the Valencia. So it's going to be exciting. It really, really is.
Well, DC, you mentioned a specific coach starting to talk about this rematch in the Super Bowl. And before we get to Pucks and Ponies, I would like to get your thoughts. What do you think about Bill Belichick not going into the Hall of Fame?
It's a great talking point, I'll be honest with you. And, my respect was always, I felt that Jimmy Johnson was always the greatest coach that I ever seen on both the college side and the NFL side. So, when he is coming out so outspoken, he said he was flying, out to join his friend Bill Belichick this year for his induction. Now he's not even going to show up. I mean, that basically sums it all up. Tom Brady also backed it up. You have so many voters now, and the way the country is, and we never talk politics or anything on this show, it's easily understandable. There's a lot of people that, could just cast a ballot, screw this guy, what he stands for, young girlfriend, still coaching at the college level at an unsuccessful level, the Spygate, all that. They're going to bring up 800 reasons why they didn't vote for him, but yet they're all going to say, oh, we voted for him, just like Jimmy Johnson said. So, he's one of the greatest coaches ever, if not the greatest NFL coach. So to put him in, not to put him in on the first Hall of Fame ballot, I mean, the guy didn't use steroids or anything. And, before there was that Spygate technology, you always had guys that were spying on other practices in the facility, other teams' practices, and so forth. Deflategate's a whole nother thing. I mean, who knows even how that transpired? But Bill Belichick is a legend, and he has the full support of his former owner, Tom Brady. Most of the general public out there. So it's hard to see him not in the Hall of Fame. He's going to get in, of course, but to make him wait that extra year, I mean, this is childish. There's no steroids or anything involved to where it's proven that the person cheated. So I have to say it was definitely a wrong. He should be in on that first ballot.
Yeah, pretty crazy. I think very shocking for the sports world, definitely. Dwayne, let's go into some hockey here. We've got 15 games, a smaller slate yesterday and just one tomorrow, so we got to take advantage. Any jump off the board to you that you first thought was priced wrong and maybe looking to bet aside here?
Yeah, well, let's start with the Golden Knights, Alex. I mean, now they're back in that rut. We're not scoring goals. We're having trouble. Definitely off a long road trip. And ever since the White Cloud trade, it's been a little different atmosphere out here in Las Vegas. And it's going to be interesting to see. Now you're playing a powerhouse team that usually performs very well against the Vegas Golden Knights. And Dallas now, I believe, has won 3 out of 4, back to 30-14. Their last loss was at Columbus, and they were shut out. But 2 consecutive wins against St. Louis, one on the road. Now they're on their road trip, whereas traveling cross country, the Vegas Golden Knights have to come back home. Canadians whipped up on them again. And, their last game here, they actually lost, I think it was January 19th to the Flyers. So I kind of like the Dallas Stars, at even money. I think this is a good spot. I think the Knights will be a little complacent coming home off that long road trip, and they need to start scoring goals again. They have to get Marner involved, Jack Eichel involved. I mean, they rode the Mark Stone wave for a little while. You don't want to go limping into this Olympic break and on a losing streak. Although, their division is horrible, so they're still able to maintain that first place until Edmonton puts together a winning streak. So, it's going to be interesting to see how the Western Conference transpires, in the Vegas Golden Knight division. We know that the Wild, Dallas, and Colorado are very strong in the other division, but who's going to come out other than the Golden Knights and the Oilers? Are the Ducks going to get on another winning streak? They're playing a little better once again, but I mean, teams beating teams like Calgary, they're supposed to do that. We'll see if the Kings could put it all together. The Sharks are very young, Mammoth, Kraken. So the West is an enigma. It seems like the East has most of the monstrous teams there, heading into this break, but anything could change. I'm waiting for the Florida Panthers to put together that big winning streak. Tampa Bay's been unbelievable. Montreal's very young. You have to keep that in mind. So we'll see how it plays out. Definitely going to be tough to handicap the West moving forward after the break. And keep your eye on the health of some of these players. A lot of these players will start to rest up and come back, and that could definitely help boost a lineup that is, currently in disarray on some of these teams.
DC, I'm very curious on your thoughts on this one. The top team in the NHL, the leading points getter, team that lost last night in regulation, so the second of a back-to-back tonight, against the team that just beat those Vegas Golden Knights at home in overtime, your Montreal Canadiens. What do you think about the Avs and Canadiens tonight?
Yeah, that's a tough one. This is the third game now on the road trip for Colorado, and they did lose to Ottawa. Ottawa's starting to put it together again at home, and Ottawa put up five goals. And you look at this schedule now: lost to Anaheim, lost to Philadelphia. Everybody beats Toronto. Toronto is in total disarray. They need to blow it all up over there. So, you're heading into the Bell Center. Montreal's playing up and down. The goalie position, it's what's killing the Canadians, and they need to solidify the defense. So there's a lot of talk about, Robert Thomas, guys like that. I don't think the Canadians really should go out on a limb and get rid of Kapanen or somebody like that right now. They're in a building mode. They have an unbelievable young offense. I mean, Cole Caulfield is a great, great goal scorer. Demidov is definitely learning how to, work on the power play, work on the second line, sometimes on the first line. Slavkovsky, when he's in the game, he is just monstrous. If he has his head in the game, he's definitely a force. And these guys are all 21 and younger, basically. So this is a tough matchup. Colorado is going to be hungry. They always get up for my Habs. This is a layoff game for me, to be honest with you. Usually I'd be all over the Canadians, but it's still the Avalanche. And the Avalanche have come back down to earth a little, guys. We have spoken about that. They had 2 losses, then they had the victory against Washington, then another 2 losses, then a victory, and then a loss. It seems like a pattern. Maybe the Canadians get the money tonight. I would go with Dobish, too, because he's outplaying Montembeault right now. Once again, Samuel Montembeault is an enigma. You can't get a read on this guy. I mean, sometimes he's lights out. Sometimes he's the worst goaltender in the NHL. So I would definitely go with Dobish, even though he has that .890 save percentage. His goals against is under 3, and he has been playing better of the 2 goaltenders, 3 at one point when we had Fowler out.
It looks like it will be Dobish. He is confirmed on most sites that I am seeing. I'm curious your thoughts. We're seeing a few 6.5s here, but they're all juiced, including this one, -125. The Edmonton San Jose game juiced to the over -145, and then the last game on the board, the Ducks and the Canucks, 6.5 over -125. Any of those, Dwayne, that you like over, or on the reverse side, any of them you would be willing to take the under and get that plus price?
A lot of these Montreal games go over, I'll be honest with you, Alex. You look at it, it's always suspect goaltending that you take into consideration. Now Vancouver, once again, they're on a tremendous losing streak. I mean, they gave up, against the Devils, there were 9 goals scored. Against San Jose, 7. Let's see if the Ducks could really start to put the puck in the net. They did against Calgary, but they did that late, and it was more of a Calgary, fall apart in that game. Then 11 goals against Edmonton. So you might want to look at the over in this Duck Canuck game that we have the graphic up on.
Yep.
6.5. Definitely the total is juiced to the over, and rightfully so. Suspect goaltending on both sides, and teams that like to score goals and make a lot of mistakes in the neutral zone, especially the Canucks. And, that was the end of a winning streak for Anaheim. So maybe they're looking to get back on the beam, but the road trip is getting long now. So they may be out of gas and a little tired. This is a good spot for an over, if you ask me.
Dwayne, I want to ask you really quick because I was checking Vezina odds, and it looks like Sorokin is odds-on favorite, which he has 6 shutouts. So I totally understand that. But he's not leading in goals against or save percentage. There's some other goalies that have been playing really good. Vasilevsky's starting to get some respect. I'm seeing consensus just plus 190 out there, but then Logan Thompson has fallen off. He's still plus 550. There's some 30-to-1s out there if you're looking at Wedgwood, maybe Swayman, Brandon Bussey, the young goalie there in Carolina. Any that you can think of right off the top of your head that maybe we should look at their odds?
I mean, it's so difficult. Sorokin has really been solid, and the Islanders are playing at a high level. Plus, you have Patrick Roy as your head coach, so how could you not play, solid goaltending? We know Vasilevsky's a legend. You don't have guys like Hellebuck in the conversation right now. Karo Vejmelka is a very solid goaltender. If you look at him, he's a young, up-and-coming goaltender. If that team makes the playoffs, maybe he could get in the final 3. But when you have 2 big names like Sorokin and Vasilevsky leading the way, there seems to be, when you talk about these awards in the NHL, the name players usually get there. And unless somebody comes up with a stellar second-half performance after the break, then we could start to establish a little, value moving forward.
Well, those Islanders are the exact team that I was curious about asking you about tonight, DC. It's the second of a back-to-back for both teams. It's the second of a home-and-home in this one. So we're in MSG where the Rangers are hosting the Islanders. But it also looks like the Rangers are shutting down Artemi Panarin for the remainder until we get to the Olympic break. And they'll probably trade him or looking to trade him once we get closer to the trade deadline. But what do you think here with the Islanders going for the sweep here in the season series?
It's looking good. I'll tell you the truth. Definitely. Ryan, I don't understand what the Rangers are doing. I mean, Sullivan is a terrible coach, it seems like to me. Left the team at a certain spell. Now, don't get me wrong. They had their goaltender go down, Shesterkin, but Zibanejad underperforming. Then now, how much value does Panarin have when he entertained going back home in the offseason and already has been outspoken about that? So now they ruined that. They should have traded him about a month and a half ago, in my opinion. They're not getting good play at all. They're at the bottom of the Eastern Conference. And the only thing that's more shocking is that the Devils are the team right on top of them. Like Alex said as well, Logan Thompson has fallen off, so Washington has fallen. And yet Toronto is still above these 3 teams, which, 2 of them, I believe, are better than Toronto, but that doesn't mean anything. So the Rangers are in total disarray. Love the Islanders tonight. I gave them out last night. I thought they were a stellar lock in that game. And, 5-2, they just dominated. The Rangers can't get out of their own way. They look like they're in disarray. Coaching staff doesn't know how to answer questions, in the press conferences after the game. It's not much of a travel to MSG tonight. So I would look at the Islanders, and the price is right. I mean, we're currently sitting, the graphic is correct, at minus 130 here at the resort at Summerlin and the South Point. I think that's a bargain, to be honest with you.
DC, we're looking forward to next week. We're trying to get you here in studio. You just mentioned how busy you are going to be next week and then the day right after the big game. So we understand if it doesn't work out, but we may, everybody who's watching us live, have Dwayne and Ralph Sirocco with us to start that show, which would be a lot of fun. That kind of leads me to the question of if you have any pony picks for us today.
There's slim pickings today. I mean, everything's canceling, Alex. You look at it. Aqueduct is canceled. Mahoning canceled. Turfway Park. Most of my favorites have canceled. Let's see how much. We're up to the third race already at Gulfstream Park, and that is the place where you can pick some winners. Looking at the seventh race, number 4, Super Attentive. The great Mark Cassie has 20 winners at this current meet. It's unbelievable. John Velasquez was lighting it up with prices on Pegasus World Cup Day. This is a formidable combination, I'll be honest with you. John Velasquez has 18 winners at the current meet at a 93. He's hitting at a 20%. Mark Cassie at 25%. Jockey trainer combination at the current meet, $2.30, which is a positive ROI. You want to keep these things into consideration when you're dealing with trainers and riders and you're handicapping horses, guys. This is very important, and I believe it's even higher for the year, a year size sample with these two guys, John Velasquez and Mark Cassie. So we're going to look to get 3-1, maybe. It might be a little less, but I'm liking this horse second off the layoff. He already won at Gulfstream on the 1st of January, New Year's Day. Super Attentive, number 4 in the 7th race at Gulfstream today.
I love it, Dwayne. We appreciate you. We appreciate your time. Next week, we'll get more in depth. I think Ryan has one more question before we let you go, though.
Yeah, it is. It is going back to pucks. And it's not a game tonight. It is a game on Sunday. It is an outdoor game between the Bruins and Lightning taking place in Raymond James Stadium where the Buccaneers play their game. So we're getting a hockey game in a football stadium on Sunday of two great teams, or two teams playing absolutely phenomenal hockey right now. So just kind of looking ahead to that one. What do you think?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, the Lightning are playing great, just like you said, and Boston has got back together. And, this is definitely going to be a great matchup, great setting as well. It's great for the NHL. Boston was on a real nice win streak, and they still are winning games 3 out of 4 after that loss to Dallas. Then they lost to the Rangers, which was shocking how you could lose to that team, but they're still playing at a high level, and they want to keep pace with the Montreal Canadiens, their arch rival. This is a great, great game. Very tough to handicap. I'm a sort of a Tampa homer just because I know the way they're playing, and it's just at a phenomenal level now. And yes, tough game. It's a toss-up, Ryan. I'll be honest with you. Barring anybody getting hurt, before this game or anything happening, probably look at Tampa, but slight advantage in my opinion.
Okay. Dwayne, with two goalies like Swayman and Vasilevsky, you'd want to look at the under, but you never know with these outdoor games, right?
Yeah. I mean, the ice gets tore up, and sometimes there's mistakes. It slows the game down. It turns the complexion of the game. It's hard to get a read on totals when you have two of the best goaltenders in the league, like you said. But I have no opinion. I'm sure we will take into consideration the ice on the day of the game and move forward when we're, formulating our total line on that.
He's Dwayne Colucci. You can go visit him up at the resort at Summerlin. Runs the race and sportsbook up there. Follow him on X at NYBookie Dwayne, and we'll see you again next week, maybe in person, but possibly remote. So, Dwayne, have a great week. We look forward to talking to you again.
Thanks, Alex. Thanks, Ryan. I really appreciate it. Have a great day. Let's win some money tonight on that extensive NHL slate.
Yes, sir.
15 games. Cannot wait. We're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we will go through the entire slate on the ice here on Sports by the Book.
If you're celebrating a special occasion or just love fine dining, you're in the right place. Come experience the crown jewel of South Point restaurants, Michael's Gourmet Room.
Welcome.
With over 600 different types of wines and magnificent dishes prepared tableside, you'll revel in the rich classic Vegas decor and the best black tie service in the world. This intimate gourmet room has earned accolades galore. Come to Michael's Gourmet Room for an unforgettable dining experience. Another famous restaurant is the Silverado Steakhouse, where you'll find the charm and service that discerning patrons require. From top quality steaks and chops to fresh seafood and desserts, you'll love the award-winning wine list and menu at Silverado Steakhouse. Steak lovers have even more options with primarily prime rib. Catering to hearty appetites, the menu features a variety of flavorful prime rib cuts, dry aged to ensure tenderness, and then seasoned and slowly roasted. Although prime rib is our specialty, it's not the only thing on the menu. There's something for everyone.
Heading to Las Vegas to catch the action at Allegiant Stadium? Skip the traffic and the sky-high room rates of the Strip. Book your stay at the South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa. The South Point is located just 7 miles away from the stadium, and it's a quick trip up the freeway, making it an affordable rideshare or taxi ride. And don't worry about getting here when you land in Vegas. We offer a convenient airport shuttle to get your getaway off to a stress-free start. Shuttles are also available on Raider game days for a small fee. So whether you're rooting for your team or seeing your favorite band in concert at Allegiant Stadium, South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa is your ticket to all the excitement.
Ready to ramp up your excitement for playoff football? Join our hosts as they break down the matchups, key angles, and futures markets in the final episodes of Football Frenzy.
Seattle Seahawks get it done.
You look at these two teams and you say, wow, they did really well against quality opponents.
Brock Purdy to throw an interception, tied up with the Seahawks in this game. I think that's a little bit of a correlation.
I would have given a huge ups to the Rams defensively. Not anymore.
Don't miss your chance to cash tickets and root for your favorite team. Stream Football Frenzy every Friday at noon Pacific.
All right, let's get into it. 15 hockey games to go through here on Sports by the Book. I'm Alex White alongside Ryan McCormick. Ryan, we have a ticker trivia question. It's not hockey, but it's still a good one.
Yeah, it is a basketball question for you guys today. Ticker trivia presented by City Light Shine, available at Lee's Discount Liquor, Total Wine, and here at the South Point Hotel and Casino. And it features, or it's really asking about, mentions a game of two teams that played last night. The Cleveland Cavaliers and the Los Angeles Lakers went into quadruple overtime, a 154-153 game on this date in sports history, January 29th, 1980. So the question is, since the NBA-ABA merger in 1976 and including playoffs, how many NBA games have gone into quadruple or greater overtime? So we'll give you guys some time to answer that question. We'll also go over our poll that we gave you guys today, and I'll also mention the post that we have in the description of today's video. So after you make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, you can go and vote in that one. So for today's live chat poll, we gave you a hockey one. East-West. How about West to East? Talking about a Western Conference team going to play an Eastern Conference team and giving you plus money today on the road. So we got the Blackhawks in Pittsburgh taking on the Penguins, getting plus 155 here at the South Point. We got the Jets in Tampa taking on the Lightning, getting plus 165 there. We got the Kings in Buffalo taking on the Sabres, getting plus 105 on that money line. And the Mammoth in Raleigh taking on the Hurricanes, plus 150 on that money line. And then for today's post, we gave you conference clashes. So teams in the same conference going against each other, talking about the Stars and Knights tonight here in Vegas. We got the Islanders and Rangers that we talked about with DC. We got the Flames in Minnesota taking on the Wild, and the Flyers and the Bruins going through a battle there in Boston. So if you want to go to the description of the video and go and vote in that one as well, you are more than welcome to do that. I also wanted to bring up yesterday's post that we asked you guys what your Super Bowl MVP look is so far early as we get closer to Super Bowl 60. We gave you Drake May, Marcus Williams, Leonard Williams, Marcus Jones, and Sam Darnold. And currently Sam Darnold has 72% of that vote for Super Bowl MVP. And you also see that in the odds because he is the favorite here at the South Point, getting plus 120 for that Super Bowl MVP for Super Bowl 60. But now getting to the Frozen Frenzy we have today, 15 NHL games, and we will start with one of those games in our poll, talking about the Blackhawks and Penguins in Pittsburgh. Penguins a minus 175 home favorite, plus 155 on the money line for the Blackhawks. A total of 6 with a 125 to the over.
I was just checking a goalie post here, Ryan, and it looks like my handicap may have switched. Are you seeing Spencer Knight? Nope, it's going to be Soderblom is now confirmed. So 2 backups. I thought it was going to be Spencer Knight versus Stuart Skinner, but it looks like they're both flipping here. That might lead us to an overplay. I was looking at under 1.5 in the first period, but I do have Pittsburgh about that high at home. They've just been playing so good, 6-2-2, and Chicago struggled 3-5-2 in their last 10. But now with the unknown who's starting goalie, or the known that is not going to be their number one goalie here, I'm going to stay off of this one. But it's a lean to the over there. I do make it 6 over -10 with starting goalies, so you could factor that in. Anything for you between these two?
Yeah, I am wearing my Blackhawks jersey today, but that is more wishful thinking because the Blackhawks are losers of 3 straight. They blew a 3-0 lead in Minnesota on Tuesday, a team that they haven't beaten in, well, I guess they did win in overtime, but they haven't beaten the Wild in regulation in 19 meetings, going back to, I believe, 2019. So it's been a long time since the Hawks have beaten the Wild, but we're talking about them playing the Penguins here tonight. So 3 of the last 4 games for the Blackhawks have gone into a shootout, actually. It is also the first of a back-to-back for them. They return home tomorrow to play Columbus. This season, in the first of a back-to-back, they are 2-4. Both of those wins were either in overtime or a shootout, and they are also 2-4 in the second of a back-to-back. However, they have won both of their most recent ones, second of a back-to-back, but the 3 losses, yeah, they haven't. Well, three of those 4 losses were by 6 goals, and 4 goals. So, didn't exactly do well to start the year on second of back-to-backs. So, just keep that in mind for playing Columbus tomorrow. But here, the Penguins are coming off of a 4-game road trip where they won all 4 games. So they're feeling really good, and it's the start of a 3-game homestand for them. So I do think that the Penguins are the right side here. They're playing really good hockey, really, for the last 2 months, and the Hawks, not so much. So I would be more inclined to take that plus 145 there that you see on the screen.
They might be feeling too good, though.
True.
Maybe take Chicago a little lightly here, but are you expecting goals as well, or think the 6 is a good number there?
The Hawks have been very spotty. They've kind of, when they do have it going, they are able to put it up, but they have not really shown to be able to get it going consistently, and kind of have struggled to keep things going. Yeah, went up 3-0 on Tuesday, and then did not score another goal. Did not score in the shootout. So if we get the capable goaltending I get from a backup, I would not anticipate the Hawks to necessarily score much. But we do have Bob in our chat letting us know that he does like the over in this one.
Okay.
So going to Florida, where the Tampa Bay Lightning are hosting the Winnipeg Jets. We have the Lightning as a minus 185 home favorite and plus 165 for the Jets on the money line, a total of 5.5 with a 115 to the over.
The Jets are playing better, 6-2-2 in their last 10. Haven't been able to say that for a while now, but I mean, you do have Tampa Bay that has won 8 of their last 10. So I do think that they should be. I've actually got them $2 here at home against Winnipeg. I've got the total at 6, so it's a slight lean for me to the over between those two. Hellebuck's numbers really have not been very good this year, so I don't hate that at all. It kind of slipped by me now that it is a 5.5. 2.7 is not bad though, and he is over that 900 mark for save percentage. But it would be over or pass for me. Anything jump out to you?
I did want to play the Lightning on the puck line, but I don't want to only get 135 there with that one. It's the second of a 4-game road trip for the Jets. They are coming off of a 4-3 win in New Jersey against the Devils. They have not won consecutive road games, whether it be in the same road trip or having a home game between or having several home games between, since they won their first 3 road games of the season. So they aren't necessarily taking business trips, I guess, seriously, or not been able to get it, keeping it rolling while being on the road and getting on multiple flights there. So Tampa, winners of 6 straight at home. There is a caveat to that, though, because this is their 4th and final home game of the entire month of January. So that 6-game home streak goes to December. A really weird scheduling quirk there. But coming off of a 2-0 win against Utah, was their second shutout this season. The Lightning's second time shutting out a team this season, and they followed their first one with a 5-1 win against the Calgary Flames, kind of on this same 2-day break. So I do lean to the Lightning being able to win and cover another puck line, which they have been outstanding at doing for the last month. But I don't necessarily only want to get the 135 there.
I was trying to see the odds for them to win in regulation, but it's minus 120, so I think you'd be better off taking a shot there. There's another team coming up that I think regulation might work well, but minus 120, I'm with you. It would be puck line or pass here. I mean, Tampa Bay is second best in goals on the season and goals against. So it's Colorado has the most goals in regulation, has given up the fewest, and Tampa Bay is second in both of those categories. And then you're going up against a Winnipeg team that is playing a lot better, but nowhere near this Tampa Bay team. So, and I like that you realize that that's the last home game, so they're going to try and keep that streak going for sure.
Minus 2.5 goals at a different place in town is plus 220. But again, you mentioned how good Winnipeg's playing. I don't necessarily want to have the Lightning have to win by 3 in order to get that one, especially with the total just at 5.5. So that would be expecting the Lightning to score all of the goals in this game. All right, going up the East Coast to Buffalo, where the Kings are on the road taking on the Sabres. We have a minus 125 for the home team, a plus 105 for the road team, and a total of 6 with a 115 to the under.
So I didn't have a lot of differences in my numbers looking at them last night, kind of handicapping these games. I have Buffalo minus 122. I've got 6 under minus 115. It looked like a stay up, but Buffalo 7-2-1 in their last 10. The Kings 4-2-4. And then if you really dive in, Buffalo's been really good in the first period. So I thought maybe that was a way to play it. Did not see a number last night when I was looking. They actually only had the third period number up. So first period is minus 125. So I don't really know if there's much value jumping in that way. If you wanted to lay a half, it's plus 155 for the first period if they're up 1-0. But that's the way I was looking. I'm trying to attack that one. Didn't really have anything full game.
Yeah, the Kings, they beat me on Tuesday, getting a win there against the Red Wings in Detroit. The Kings are winners of 3 straight. However, the Sabres are back off of a 5-game road trip, and they won their last 4 of that 5-game road trip, covered the puck line in each of those 4. So the Kings are going to have to beat me again here tonight. I am taking the Sabres, and I will take the plus 195 there for the Sabres to cover yet another puck line for the 4th game in a row. 5th game in a row. Sabres playing really well. Hopefully they can get another streak going, heading all the way into the Olympic break. So, anything else for you in that one?
Nope.
All right, going back down the East Coast to Carolina, where the Mammoth are taking on the Hurricanes. The Mammoth are getting plus 150 on their buyback. 170 is what you got to lay for the Hurricanes, and a total of 6 with a 110 either way.
Looks like some bettors like the dog here in this one. I had minus 185 for Carolina last night. That's what I saw the opening number at. So now down 15 cents. I do agree with that. I've got Carolina minus 175, but now it's kind of gone past my number. I'm right there. I lean to the over. I've got it 6 over, minus 125. So about a little 15-cent difference there, if anything. Both teams playing really good. Utah 8-1-1 in their last 10. Carolina 7-2-1. So lean to the over at 6, and it was a lean to taking that plus 150, but it's not enough for me to get involved.
Yeah, it's not enough for me either, but it might be enough for J-Main, as he is the this is one of the dogs that he kind of mentioned, the Kings in the last one, and the Mammoth here in this one on the road. But yeah, ultimately not necessarily good enough for me to want to jump in there with the Mammoth. So we can go back up the East Coast to New Jersey here, where the Predators are taking on the Devils. The Devils are a minus 140 home favorite, plus 120 for the Preds. And this one is also a 6 with a 110 both way.
Pick your poison right. Both of them coming into this one on a 2-game losing streak. Both of them have 5 wins in their last 10 games. 2 bad teams. I would like to say I trust the Devils more at home at minus 140. I've got a minus 160, but I really don't want to lay a price with a bad team. I like under. I actually made it 5.5, but it worries me a little bit here with the two goalies. Let me double check who is confirmed. Okay, it looks like it will be Saros and Markstrom. So, yeah, I've got it 5.5. That's a good difference there for me. I'm going to take a shot at this under here between the Preds and the Devils.
Both teams losers of back-to-back games. You mentioned not necessarily want to lay the price with a bad team and the Devils, or at least playing bad, because they did have some high expectations going into the year.
Yes.
I'm not going to play it, but I do think there is some value here playing the 120 with the Predators on the road, because they have been competitive the last couple of nights. They've got a lot of veteran leadership on that team. So kind of fighting to feel good to go in the break. I would think the value here is with the Preds, with the road team getting that plus 120. All right, going across the border where we talked about this one with DC, but the Avalanche and the Canadiens, second of a back-to-back for the Avalanche, but we've got them as a minus 120 road favorite here at the South Point. There are minus 125s in the market, but minus 120 here at the South Point. Even money for the Habs, and a total of 6.5 with a 125 to the over.
I did see Attila say it was a bad day for the Avs and a parlay, and I do apologize if anybody else tied it up with the Seahawks. Should have waited. It was Mackenzie Blackwood starting yesterday. I do think Scott Wedgwood is the better of the two goalies for Colorado. His record shows it, 23-5, 214 goals against, and a .918 save percentage. He's just getting back. Just had his second child. We love the dad strength coming into this one. I think Colorado will be highly motivated to get the second of a back-to-back. Ryan might have those numbers for us on how they have been, but minus 120, I think that's way too cheap. I think they should be $1.50 on the road with how good this team has been throughout the entire season. So give me Colorado on the money line, and then I'm going to take a shot plus 115 for them to win in regulation. I do also lean to the puck line, but you're still getting a plus price, and then you don't have to worry about them winning by more than one. Ryan, how are you going to attack this one? Are you going right back to it like me?
Well, the second of a back-to-back. The Avalanche are 4-1-2 this year. And you mentioned getting it done in regulation. I was looking at what it is for the game to go to overtime. Plus 320 there at a different book in town. But this one is just going to be I won't play it, but it is going to be a very fun watch. I do think the Avs kind of burned us last night. They looked sleepy. So wouldn't exactly want to. I mean, I get it. We respect them a ton. They have an incredible roster. Have to think they're going to bounce back. They aren't playing well at the moment. So gotta fight for pride and going against a very good test here in Montreal. But again, I won't. I don't have enough to play this one, but I will be tuning in and watching it because it will be a very good hockey game.
I will just say it wasn't as bad as that final result says. It was 3-2. Pulled the goalie, and then things kind of escalated from there. So had a shot to send it to overtime yesterday. So I guess that is kind of why you're leaning with that overtime price.
Yeah.
Because I really thought they could do it, and you never count them out if they are down by one. So if you're in that situation, I'd like to see them start quick here.
Right.
But all right, let's keep it rolling.
All right, going to Boston. Flyers and Bruins. We got the Bruins as a minus 140 home favorite, plus 120 for the Flyers, and a total of 6 with a 120 to the over.
Well, if you're talking about home streaks, Boston has won 8 straight at home. They are playing really good, 8-1-1 in their last 10, and Philadelphia is not, 2-7-1 in their last 10. I've got this number right there, minus 145 for Boston at home, but I mean, I feel like I got to add in with how good they've been playing at home. So it would only be that side for me with the home team in the Bruins. I didn't jump into anything. I thought it was pretty fascinating. I was checking their trends with first period and trying to look at the different ways to play this. Boston is they're 7-3 over 1.5 in the first period in their last 10 games, but on the year they actually have the highest percentage at 67% with their games getting at least 2 goals in the first period. They are 34 of 51 of their games have gone over there. San Jose is the next team at 66%, but I was pretty shocked just with what you think about Boston, right? And I'm usually looking for unders with them, with Swayman, but got to be careful. They get a lot of goals and potentially let up some goals in that first period. So that was another way I was going to kind of look at it, maybe looking at first period over, but I didn't decide on anything. How about you?
So it is the second of a back-to-back here for the Flyers. They did lose last night 5-3 in Columbus after getting shut out at home against the Islanders. The Flyers, you mentioned, are losers of 9 of their last 11. Second of a back-to-back. So first of a back-to-back, they are now 4-3-1. But in the second of a back-to-back, they are 2-4-1. So 2-5 on the money line this year. In the second of a back-to-back, I'll end up playing the Bruins, but they are coming off of back-to-back overtime games, lost to the Rangers and a win versus the Predators. We talked about it with DC. They're looking ahead to the Stadium Series, getting to play outdoors on Sunday, so they do have a couple days to kind of get ready for that one. Not necessarily focused on that one. They should be focused on the task at hand, but playing in 2 consecutive overtime games, 2 tighter games, not necessarily getting to be the dominant team. I would like to play the minus the puck and a half, get the plus unit there, but I'm more comfortable laying the minus 140 here in this one at home.
Very good. I forgot to mention I do actually like that over in the game before too with the Avs and the Canadians. I do think we're going to see some goals there between them. But so are you said you will end up, but you're not going to put it on your whiteboard necessarily?
I would like to.
Okay.
Well, I don't think I'll end up playing it.
It's the hesitation of the look ahead.
We'll do the money line though.
Okay.
We'll kick myself when they win by 3, but Bruins money line here is what I'm going with. So
Very good.
going to Madison Square Garden, the second of a home and home, the second of a back-to-back for these teams, and the 4th meeting of the year between the Islanders and Rangers. We have the Islanders as a minus 130 favorite here at the South Point, a plus 110 for the Rangers at home, and a total of 6. Minus 110 either way.
Ryan, I think we're going to be on opposite sides, but I'm not actually going to bet the Rangers. They are 2-8 in their last 10 games, but I think this number's gotten a little out of control. Just the fact that they just played, right? And you know I love revenge, and this is like the ultimate revenge spot. And I know we don't have Shesterkin, but Jonathan Quick has stepped into the role of being their number 1 now. So you got the better goalie than you did yesterday going. So it would be a lean that way, but I'm not going to get involved in this one.
Yeah, and kind of getting to do this for you, doing this with you for a while. Not just the revenge, but also avoiding a sweep.
That's right.
The Islanders would be going for their 4th win in 4 games this season, taking all 4 games against the Rangers here. I mentioned that the first 2 games, the Rangers got shut out in both of them. They finally score last night in the first period, so they got that over with quickly. But they only scored 2. They lost 5-2 last night. The Rangers are 6-13-4 at home this season. So 6-17 on the money line. They are 9-18 in road and home games since the start of December. So again, we pointed out on the graphic, they are the bottom team in the Eastern Conference. The Islanders are going for their first 3-game win streak since they had 2 different 3-game win streaks, sandwiched a loss between there at the start of December. So I get the hesitation and thinking that this has moved probably too far. I do think that takes into account that Artemi Panarin will not be playing for the Rangers for the remainder of their games going into the Olympic break.
Important point, yes.
DC kind of pointed out their coach isn't doing things right. Really, the organization isn't doing things right. So I'm comfortable with the minus 130 here with the Islanders.
I also forgot one small detail. It wasn't Sorokin yesterday either. It was David Redditch. So you got better goalies and you got the better of the two on the Islanders. So good point. So they've scored 2 goals in 3 games
Yes.
against them.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. What's their median at home this year?
Let me see.
Did it move up to 2 when we last talked about it?
It moved up to 2.
Okay.
We're at 2 now.
Okay. But for the majority of the year, their median goals at home was 1.
Yes.
That's pathetic. So, yeah, Islanders here for me. Going to Detroit, where the Capitals are taking on the Red Wings. We got the Capitals getting even money here at the South Point, -120 as a home favorite for the Red Wings, and a total of 6.5, 110 either way.
I'm not betting this game, but if I were, it would definitely be on the home team. And, I do like to bet on the Washington Capitals, but I think the Red Wings should be $1.40 at home. And I understand the temptation to take a plus number with the Caps, but they're not playing good. 3-6-1 in their last 10 games. And on the other side, the Red Wings are 7-2-1. So, I mean, I'm almost tempted to play the Red Wings, but for some reason, I feel like I can't catch a break with either of these two teams. So, Ryan, what do you think? What's the best play in this one?
I will be playing the Wings. Seeing that 2 units there on the puck line is pretty tempting. It is the third of 3 meetings this year. Detroit has won every single one. Of the 2 prior. Those 2 prior were part of a home and home on back-to-back nights. So the Caps weren't able to respond after losing the first one, and they lose again in the second one in 2 consecutive days. We are a ways past then, but yeah, the Capitals is the last of a 6-game road trip. They are 1-4 so far on that road trip. They've also lost 18 of their last 28 games going to the start of December. We talked about yesterday. The Red Wings have won or are 19-9 since the start of December. So it will be the Red Wings here for me in this one.
I like it, and I 2-1. I don't think that's a bad bet at all with the puck line there. It's a really good price, actually.
All right, going to St. Louis, where the Panthers are a -160 road favorite, +140 on the buyback for the Blues, and a total of 5.5 with a 115 to the over.
If you factor in the fact that the Blues have lost 5 in a row coming into this one, if you use the road record for Florida, so their last 4 road games were all winners. They come into St. Louis playing pretty good on these business trips, 6-4 in their last 10 games, and St. Louis is 2-7-1. It's been a team that we've been fading. Just things did not work out for them this year. I've only got Florida -145 with all of those factors. I think 160 is the correct number there. 6 under 22 is my total number, and you're seeing that 5.5 juiced a little bit to the over. So those are pretty similar in regards to the total. So nothing in this one. If you made me play it, I would absolutely play the Panthers.
I would also absolutely play the Panthers. The Blues are losers of 8 of their last 10. They have covered the puck line in their last 3, so headed in the right direction, playing a little bit tighter hockey. But in those other 5 of those 8 losses, they did not cover the puck line. We kind of talk about the Panthers needing to get things heated up, especially once we get back from the Olympic break. I would definitely take the Panthers here. I am tempted by that +170 there on the puck line.
Yeah, I mean, don't really have time to wait till they get back.
Right.
They've got to start it now, and they got to take advantage of lesser opponents in front of them.
All right, going to Minnesota, where the Flames are a 165 underdog. The Wild are a -185 favorite, and a total of 6, 110 either way.
I've got the Wild $1.99 at home here against the Flames, so almost a 15-cent difference. This team is 500 basically in their last 10 games. They're 5-3-2, so it doesn't give me a lot of faith to jump in here. And Devin Cooley's been really good for the Flames. He's been the better goaltender for them this year, so makes me a little bit nervous there. I guess it's a lean to the under, but my numbers don't even really say it. And Minnesota's on a crazy over streak, so I got to cancel that out. 9 straight overs and 6 straight overs when playing at home. So it's a stay off for me between these two.
Flames losers of 4 straight, all of which were at home. So pretty tough way to leave your fans there now going to Minnesota. But this is the only road game that they have to play. They go back home. So the home team has won both of the prior meetings this season. The Wild did just have a nice confidence boosting win coming back against the Blackhawks. So it would be a look to the Wild here, especially with the Flames. I completely understand Evan Cooley. But the Flames being 8-18 on the money line on the road so far this season, 8-16-2 is their actual record. So it would be a look to the Wild, but I don't want to lay the -185 there.
You'd have to take a shot at the puck line if you do
which-
like the home team in that one.
Which I don't think I would be able to do. It's only -160 to take the puck and a half there with the Flames. So making the argument that they get things buttoned back up,
Yeah.
that could be a better play. But anyway, we can move. We'll go to the next one. The highest total on the board, the San Jose Sharks in Edmonton, a 5.5. There are 7s in some spots, or 6.5. Excuse me. There are 7s in some spots. It is a 6.5 with a -145 here at the South Point. There are 6.5s with a -155 in other spots. Why are we still here at the 6.5? Why are we not at a 7?
I don't know. I actually made it 7. I would have it minus, if I was a bookmaker, to have it -115 to the over, probably, and -105 to the under. So I do like the over. I jumped in last night, though. I said it on the show yesterday. I went over 6.5. I did have to still pay -130, but I tied that up, did a round robin with the last game on the board, too, with an over there. And actually, the one right after it, I took a little bit of no, it was Colorado. So I've got 3 overs: Colorado Avs, Canadians over 6.5. This one over 6.5, and then the Ducks and Vancouver over 6.5 round robin. And that's all I'm gonna play in this one. The Sharks have a better record in the last 10 games than Edmonton, and Edmonton's still $1.90. Is it enough to get involved? +170? I don't think so. I think power rating wise, Edmonton should be about $2 here, but yeah, nothing for me in this one. Nothing sidewise, just the over.
The Oilers have scored 13 goals in their last 2 games. It's averaging 6.5 goals a game. The Sharks beat up on the Canucks 5-2 in their last one. Both teams winners of 2 straight. I do think we'll get to see a good amount of goals in this one. I don't necessarily. I would like to think that the Sharks will be competitive in this one.
Wouldn't you just look for a 7, Ryan?
Yeah. Well, yes. There in the spots that do have the 7s, it is juiced to the under. So you're almost getting even money with taking the over 7. You're laying a -102 in one spot and laying a -101 in another. So yeah, if you can get a 7, I don't fault you there. I do think we'll be able to get goals.
Yeah.
Okay.
You always have the possibility of a 3-3 overtime, and then you push.
I'd rather a push than a loss.
Well, compared to winning that one, but you're paying such a big price, so
Yes.
I don't think it's and once you get going and you're getting goals, the difference between 7 and 8 is only that if it's very competitive and goes to overtime.
All right, coming back across, going to Seattle, where it is a pick'em game. -110 on the sides, a total of 6.5 with a 115 to the under.
Okay, this is a fun one that I did find, and this is first period over 1.5. I guarantee it's going to be pretty juicy because Seattle is on a 9-1 streak in the last 10 games, going over 1.5 goals in that first period. Toronto, 7-3 in their last 10, also on the year. 5th most, 32 of 52 of their games have gone over that. And also Seattle is 10-0 goals in first 10 minutes. 10-0 in their last 10 games. Whether it's them or their opponent, doesn't matter. You're just betting on a goal in the first 10. So I like both of those in this one. Kind of got to find a partner to tie it up with, though, if it is a juicy price. So if you want to go over 1.5 with this one, and then pick another one of those high totals. But that's what I'm looking at. Sidewise, I'm fine with it being a pick 'em. I think that number's right. And I do have 6.5 under, though. So do they, under 15. So that's why I had to get creative and look for some trends here for the periods.
The Leafs are really struggling. Good chance they'll end up being sellers at the deadline. The losers of 5 straight, losers of 7 of their last 8, have covered 2 puck lines in those 7 losses.
Jeez.
It's the start of a 4-game road trip for them. They're on their Northwest road trip before going into the Olympic break. So 4 straight games on the road, and then they get the Olympic break. So Seattle, Vancouver, Calgary, then Edmonton. The -110 here for the Kraken is good for me. Am very tempted by that plus 220 there. There's a good chance you'll see that one on my whiteboard.
Well, if they were only in those 7 losses, only covered
2. Yeah.
So I can't fault you there. Looks like it's trended in that direction.
All right, going to the first, I guess, of our final 2. This one in town here in Las Vegas, where the Knights are a -120 home favorite, getting even money there for the Stars, and a total of 6 with a 115 to the over.
I do disagree with Dwayne a little bit here. I've got Vegas -140 at home. Very similar power ratings for both of these teams. Vegas a little bit higher, but I'd have Dallas probably $1.30 on their home ice. So I do think Vegas can get it done. I mean, I know the Stars are a good team, but they're still 5-4-1 in their last 10 games, so not playing the best to their ability as well. Both of these teams, 3-3 are their median numbers on the year. So should be a good one. We know these two don't like each other. Dwayne did make a good point. I think I've been there a couple times with the Stars. Well, I know I've been to at least one. I think I've been to a couple. I feel like the Stars do play pretty well in that building. Is that correct, Ryan?
Yes. Want to check what this game is to go to overtime.
There you go.
Plus 295.
Count me in.
Yeah, this one should be a very tight physical battle. Don't think it'll be a shootout. Well, I mean, it might go to a shootout, but not necessarily a high scoring shootout. So I do think it might end up being a 3-3 game going to overtime. So if you want to take the over, but I would be more inclined to take in that overtime price.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really what I got in that one.
Yeah, I mean, they do usually find ways. I mean, 3-3 makes a lot of sense to me. I'm going to take a little bit of that too, plus 295 there. Let us know in the chat if you're going to be there at the game.
Yes. All right, going to the final one of the night. The final one of 15 is up in Vancouver, where the Ducks take on the Nucks, and we've got the Ducks as a -135 favorite here at the South Point, plus 115 for the Nucks, and a 6.5 is the total with a -125 to the over.
I actually think if you're just picking one over of these 6.5s, I think this might be the best one. I do have this one at 7 as well, so that is a nice 20-cent difference. I've got it 7 under -105, so 20-cent difference there. And looking at these two teams, it's more about the goals against than the scoring, but I do think they've got guys on the team that can put it in the net. But Vancouver, number 1, they've given up the most goals this year in regulation at 186. That's 3.58 average per game. And Anaheim's number 3, 177 on the year, 3.4. So I like that over. As I mentioned, I did a little round robin, trying to get at least 2 of these games that have potential for a lot of goals, trying to get at least 2 of them, hopefully all 3. Be a nice little payout there, but that is my way of playing it. Ryan, anything side or total?
It would be the Ducks here. I think that 135 is pretty short, especially with how terrible the Vancouver Canucks are. So yeah, it would be the Ducks here.
I guess that is your one big concern is whether Vancouver's going to contribute or if we're really dependent on Anaheim to put up put up 5.
Yeah.
And then they scored 2.
Which
So.
is the last game that Vancouver played against the Sharks there. So it was a 5-2 game, and you would manage to get over this total of 6.5. But I would rather pick the right side on the money line versus having to pray for goals from both sides.
Well, excellent points, because the over is about that same price as the money line. So that Ryan might have just set us straight even there. I said that was the best one, but maybe not. All right. Well, you're getting your whiteboard ready. Poll looks like it is complete. Is that true?
Yeah, we'll end it here.
Okay.
I'll first go over our ticker trivia presented
Okay.
by City Light Shine. Available at Lee's Discount Liquor, Total Wine, and here at the South Point Hotel and Casino. It was a basketball question for you guys, talking about some overtime games, but a quadruple overtime, which is not possible in the NHL. But on this date in sports history, the Cleveland Cavaliers were victorious over the Los Angeles Lakers. A 154-153 quadruple overtime contest on this date in sports history, January 29th, 1980. Since the NBA-ABA merger in 1976 and including the playoffs, how many NBA games have gone into quadruple or more overtimes? So your answer would be, since the 1976 merger, a total of 11 NBA games, one of them being a playoff game, has gone into at least quadruple overtime. The average total of these 11 games was 291.1. The highest total took place March 1st, 2019, where the Chicago Bulls and Atlanta Hawks had a 168-161 total of 329 won by the Bulls. The Atlanta Hawks, conveniently enough, have played in four overtime games. So ticker trivia presented by City Light Shine, again available here at the South Point Hotel and Casino, as well as Lee's Discount Liquor and Total Wine. Your answer was 11 quadruple overtime games in NBA history. And then for our poll, talking about West-East, East-West, talking about teams going west to east. Western Conference plus money play today in the NHL. Blackhawks getting plus 155 in Pittsburgh against the Penguins. The Jets getting plus 165 in Tampa against the Lightning. The Kings getting plus 105 in Buffalo against the Sabres. And the Mammoth getting plus 150 against the Carolina Hurricanes. 32% of our chat going with the Mammoth, being able to get it done in Carolina, taking that plus 150 price there. And the Blackhawks had 29% of the vote, getting that plus 155 there in Pittsburgh. But our viewers going with the Mammoth, getting it done against the Hurricanes.
All right. While Ryan's getting his whiteboard ready, I am ready. It's kind of all over the place today. I don't have any college basketball, but I will just take a second, kind of go through with who has home revenge on this Thursday. And I'll tell you whether it was this year or from last year. But just a couple teams that stood out, using my dad's power rating sheet, Kenny White, that you can go to Kenny White Sports and sign up for that. But it's nicely bolded here for me, so I thought I'd just run through for anybody that was looking for some college basketball. So Samford catching points against Furman. They have home revenge from this year. Wolford versus Chattanooga, home revenge from this year. VMI against the Citadel has home revenge from this year as well. NC Greensboro, home revenge against Mercer from this year. Catching points, looks like 11. There we go. So he definitely was leaning that way. First one too, Samford taking the points, and then this one as well. Edwardsville, SIU, Edwardsville, home revenge. He didn't like it enough. He did not highlight that one, but home revenge from this season. Moorhead, won by 1 point. You'd think that one would stick with them. Southern Utah has home revenge against UT Arlington.
Go Birds.
And that is from this year. Catching points, 8.5. Heavy lean there. North Dakota against St. Thomas, catching 12.5. They have home revenge from this year as well, already played this season. Arkansas Little Rock lost at home to Tennessee State the first time around. So home revenge for them, catching at least 4.5, 5.5. It's going the other way. So actually getting more in that one. Any more red on here? New Haven. Let's go to the extra board. Why not? Catching at least 5 in that one. And then North Alabama catching points with home revenge. Let me make sure both of those. Yes, both of those are from this year. So kind of the mentality if you're looking for it, and no matter what site you use, if it's ESPN or Ken Palm or what, but kind of looking through. A lot of times these teams do play a home and home and split during their conference play. So if you're looking for that and you're catching points, and maybe they don't win outright, but they can at least keep it close. So that is a way that I really like to attack college basketball. Okay, for the day on the ice, only on the ice, we still got to talk about the Grand Salami. It's on my board. But I have a 3-goal difference. I added up all my totals. I got 92.4. Probably should make that a half a goal number there. 92.5. So it's 3-goal leeway here. Even though I like a lot of the overs, can we get 1 or 2 just stinkers that are 1-0 or maybe even a shutout here and there? I think there's some value there going under that 95.5. For the rest of my plays, I am going Colorado and Canadians over 6.5. I do think that Montreal will be able to score as well. That's why I'm staying off of the puck line, but I am taking the Avs in regulation plus 115. The under I like the most today is Nashville and New Jersey. Trust both goalies. Neither team is scoring a lot this year. So we're going under 6 there. I think it should be 5.5. Grand Salami under 95.5. Number 4 horse that Dwayne Colucci gave out. And then VGK and the Dallas Stars overtime plus 295. All right, Ryan, take it away with your best bets on this Thursday.
All right. It is the most minus prices that you've ever seen on my whiteboard. But going with the Sabres, money line minus 125 against the Kings. The Bruins minus 140 money line against the Flyers. The Islanders minus 130 in Madison Square Garden against the Rangers. The Red Wings minus 120 there against the Capitals. You got a minus here, but it's a plus price. The Kraken minus the goal and a half, plus 220 there against the Maple Leafs. The Ducks money line minus 140 against the Canucks. And then we'll tie together the money line of the Kraken as well as the Lightning, getting a plus 194 price on that 2-legger. And then that overtime that Alex has on hers. But putting them on both hasn't been good recently. So yeah, it's not on mine.
Smart. I might have to tail a couple of those puck lines. Just a small price there. Play a couple round robins. I already got that over round robin as well. Let's check in with the chat, and while you're kind of looking through those, or maybe checking our sheet there of any that Vince put on there, I just want to tell everybody we do have Johnny Avello joining us tomorrow for Football Frenzy from DraftKings. We'll go over some of the prop bets that they have and kind of just talk through the strategy and what they did to get ready for the big game. And we'll have Vinny here with us too. So should have a full packet here at the South Point. Looking forward to that. Ryan and I will go through everything. So if you're watching us noon Pacific time tomorrow, you'll know exactly what to expect when you drive down here and get your packet at the South Point. Next week, looking forward to this one. Chris Andrews, of course, joining us on Monday. And then on Tuesday, we've got Katie Mox from CBS Sports HQ. She's been a guest with us before, but it's been quite some time. I think it's been almost a year and a half. So she mainly focuses on NFL. So I'm sure she'll have some great player props for us. But excited to talk to her about the season that was and what she thinks, who she likes to win a Super Bowl 60. Okay, Ryan, sorry, to the chat, as I teased a few minutes ago.
No, you're all good. Just a callback from Ticker Trivia. I did say that quadruple overtime wasn't possible in the NHL, but JR did correct me, and rightfully so. In playoff hockey, we don't go to shootouts. We don't play 5-minute overtime. We don't have 3-on-3. We have 5-on-5, 20 minutes, sudden death, and it can go to quadruple overtime. So thank you there for JR. JR also has a play in the Stony Brook Campbell game of over a total of 152. We also have a couple overs in the chat from Bob going over in 3 NHL games. We got over 6 in the Islanders Rangers, over 6 in the Blackhawks Penguins, and over 6 in the Kings Sabres, if you want to follow Bob there. And then we also had Vince letting us know how things are going between the Knights and Stars in Vegas. The Stars are just 4-4-1 here in Las Vegas, so 4-5 on the money line. Let's hope that they go to 4-4-2 after tonight.
Yeah, I would love that. Knights get the win, but it goes to overtime. That would be fantastic, even though we don't want them to get a point. I don't know. I don't think that really matters. So, okay, that's it for us. Any other notes, Ryan, for tomorrow's show for Football Frenzy or for next week, looking ahead?
No, we are going to have a whole lot of good Super Bowl content for you guys, especially tomorrow, talking props with the prominent book in the country, talking about everything that they have to offer, and with everything that we have to offer here at the South Point and up at the resort up in Summerlin. So it will be a whole lot of prop talk tomorrow, and then we have a very good week coming up for you next week. And then also keep in mind, we do have the Olympic hockey segment coming up with Eddie Olczyk in a couple weeks.
Yeah, really good things. And our guy, Matt Neverett, came through. He did email Ryan and I. So Westgate's, we said you had to know somebody. We knew Matt, so it worked out. We got Westgate's
54 pages.
We got Westgate's packet. We'll have South Points tomorrow. We'll talk about your dads, and I am curious. I want to talk more about STN and how they went about it, and if your dad actually enjoys this time of the year or hates it, because I could see it being either or. But we'll talk about all that tomorrow. Kind of get everybody's opinions from all different books and all different props, and give you guys a lot of different good information out there. As we do have on our YouTube page too. Go check out the Todd Furman video, who has been doing this and been in this industry for a very long time. Gave some great pointers on how to attack Super Bowl and when it comes to betting some props. So we'll be back tomorrow at noon. Oh, JR jumping in there too. Good to see everybody in the chat. We really appreciate you guys. It's nice just to see the regulars and see your names. So thank you. Please remember to like the video from today. Please hit that subscribe button. Please tell a friend. And we'll be back tomorrow. Thank you to the crew and Jerry, Sean, Vince, and Drew Dog. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Dwayne Colucci. Go visit him if you are up in Summerlin, or if you're not doing anything and you're going to take a little drive, go say hi to DC up there. I'm Alex White. Thank you guys for watching. Remember, we are live from the South Point Hotel and Casino 5 days a week. Thank you to South Point. This has been Sports by the Book. We'll see you again tomorrow.